We're going out here and we're just finding our own coral heads.
No, you're not. This is my spots, bro. Copied this on my machine.
We invited Mitch here so we could steal all his spots.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy the stuff you say on camera. How you change.
The boys are on a cabera. They've been hunting it for a while, but we are very close to land. Okay. Mitch just went down. He's gonna come up with a hogfish. I told him he had to come back with a hogfish or he couldn't get on the boat. Yep, there he is. There's Mitch. Does it look like he has a hogfish? What do you have? He was swimming like Michael Phelps. Dude, this thing is so long. How long is this? 12 feet? Old Dilly boy decided to use a roller, see if he liked it. He shot a hog. I'm pretty stoked, man. We were gonna go hungry if it wasn't for Dylan shooting another hogfish. All we have are 2 hogfish and a lionfish and a bunch of conch. It's a nice one, Dylan.
Not bad, is it?
All right, Dylan got another hog. They're literally right there. That's where we're staying. Oh! Another one. Mitch has a fish. Let's see it, Mitch. Is it a mutton?
Small mutton.
It looks like a mutton. We now have a mutton and some hogfish for dinner. And some conch. Okay, so we just stayed really close by today. Everything was right there. We ended up with a mutton, hogs. Not bad. Gonna try a brand new area. We're gonna go super far east today. Haven't gone east once yet this whole trip, but interesting to see what we find there. My guess is we're gonna find a lot more hogs than we have been finding, although we did pretty well yesterday in the afternoon. Got a couple spots that I want to check out that should be pretty good for grouper and cubera as well. We actually saved all of our conch scraps, and we're gonna put all the conch scraps inside the conch shells and drop them down so that the fish have to work to get the conch and chum out. And then the chum is gonna be better than using fish, or I'm sorry, the conch is gonna be better than using fish because the sharks aren't gonna be as attracted, right? The conch's gonna work for the muttons, the hogs, even the groupers, right? What's up, guys? You liked the voiceovers last episode so much, we decided to do it again. Alright guys, Mitch is dropping on this big black grouper that's out in the open. You can see how he's being extremely patient and just gliding down with a loaded pole spear. Eventually the fish turns around and faces him. Mitch gets a shot off, but it bounces right off. Didn't have what it takes to penetrate that fish. So now we have to chase it into this hole. It looks like there's already a shark here. A couple lionfish, so I've got to be careful where and how I place my head and hands around this rock and while I'm searching in these crevices. But eventually I figure it out and I come back up to the surface so I can let Mitch know. He was able to get a shot off, but again, I wasn't sure just how deep the shot had gone with this pole spear, so I pull the fish out, and as I pull the fish out, you can see I have a great shot at its head, so I put a second shot in just to secure this fish. Kicking to the surface with this fish. Eventually I get it up and away from the rocks and hand this fish to Mitch, and he's able to put his hands on his biggest black grouper ever. Just did a couple 80-foot drops on this old, it looks like abandoned rig looking thing. Not bad. I had some opportunities at some really big ones, but no luck. Here I am dropping in on a mutton. A couple different options there. There's a grouper off to the right, 2 muttons in front of me, but I'm obviously going to take the big one. I lace him up, start swimming up to the surface. This ended up being a 15-pound mutton, so any day that we can get a nice mutton like that on a pole spear, that's a win. Follow up that black. Got a healthy mutton right here, baby. Woo! After we had already taken the black grouper out, shot the mutton snapper, there was another grouper sitting in there, so Mitch went down and took that fish too. I dropped down just to help get it out. And there it is. Healthy Nassau. Time for us to get this fish up to the surface and get out of here.
Mitch just used inferior Polespear that didn't have any weight behind it and basically poked this fish. It's like the second or third time I've seen him basically bounce off big fish. So we have confirmed lightweight Polespears bounce off big fish. Confirmed. Proof in the video.
Come on, Mitch, bring it in the boat.
We literally watched him, that big black. He ended up bouncing it right off that fish right in the open. Luckily it went in the hole, so we were able to get it the second time. This one, the big mutton the other day. Might have to give him a big Polespear. Nice size Nassau. You do.
Here I am dropping in on a ridiculously shallow spot that provides big hogfish from time to time. I line up. This hogfish doesn't really want to give me a broadside shot, just keeps swimming away from me. But eventually it gives me just what I need. Put it in through that side cheek, get this fish up.
That'll do.
Yeah. Today was a crazy day. I'm just gonna open up this cooler for you so you can see. But there's that hog, there's that Nassau, got that blacktail right there. Super epic day. We did not go to a single spot that we already knew about. Every single spot that we hit was just something we looked at on the map and said, hey, that looks like an area that would be good, and it looks far from civilization. But we went to other places where there's no place to stay, no reason for people to go there. I mean, it's so far, but we found crazy stuff. I mean, hogfish in 10 feet of water. That's like a 12, 13 pound hogfish. Awesome, really awesome. We found some rocks in 55 to 60 that we got the big black and the big mutton on. Then we found some more rocks in like 40 foot that were just loaded with tiger grouper, yellowfin, cubera, you name it. I mean, we got schooled pretty bad. Chased around a yellowfin for a while. We got 2 cuberas to rock up multiple times, and every time we went to poke our head inside the rock, he would shoot out the other side. So we got worked over pretty hard. Ridiculous day.
It's pretty windy. I'm gonna speak up so you can hear me.
Good morning. Now that we're not running, today starts a new day. We're gonna check out a bunch of spots on the corner that we haven't checked yet. We look like we found a little something right there. I think that's it, huh? Yeah, it's small, whatever it is. Okay, we're gonna go jump in and we're gonna check this out. I'll let you know.
Mitch out.
Every once in a while, I'll take down one of these smaller hogs. It's an adult male, it could be bigger, but we wanted to have some fresh tacos, so this is a perfect eating size. As I'm looking at my hogfish, Mitch lines up on a fish of his own. He hits it, starts heading to the surface. I decided to do the humane thing, which is to put a knife in the brain of my hogfish. It really helps with that meat quality. And on this drop, Mitch is trying to get this grouper to play nice. This grouper's been moving in and out of the cave, and we've been watching him for the last 20 minutes. You can see that there's a couple jacks that are interested in what Mitch is doing. But just as Mitch starts to poke his head in that hole, the black grouper moves and heads to another section of the reef. After much deliberation, Mitch decided to let me take a shot on this fish. And based on the angle of it, I actually dropped in shooting lefty. I never shoot lefty. I'm a right-handed person, but I decided that based on where I saw this fish go into the hole, I was gonna have to come in from an opposite angle of what I normally like. So being able to switch hands and be ambidextrous here works out, because I'm able to surprise that grouper and stick it right where I wanted it to be. You can see I'm pointing over to the other hole because even though I shot this grouper, another grouper came out and actually ended up where we originally were looking at this fish. So now the extraction begins. And honestly, this is my favorite part of grouper hunting. Some people like actually shooting the grouper. For me, once we have a grouper in the hole, that's the hard part. Eventually, this fish starts to come out. So I've been battling with this fish, I've had multiple dives, multiple efforts, and here it finally starts to squeeze out, and I've got to pull its head out with my other hand. But eventually I do get the fish out, and I've been down there wrestling with this fish for a while. So once I get it situated, I immediately call to Mitch. Come grab this fish from me. He meets me and takes the leash, so I can get to the surface and take a breath. It's a nice fish. It's a really pretty fish. Ended up going, I think, 45 pounds. This is the type of fish that everyone looks for when they go to the Bahamas. A big, beautiful black grouper. Nice tail. Big old black Hershey stripe.
Woo!
You can see even there Mitch is playing with the tail as well. Seems to be a common theme. Everybody wants to grab the big black grouper tail.
What kind of snapper is this?
It's a black-tail snapper. Very nice snapper.
This is endangered?
Very endangered.
Oh, only 3 left in the environment. Sexy.
Really nice black. Haven't been to this spot in 2 or 3 years. And it, he had 2 or 3 others just like him. Beautiful fish. Dude, that tug of war was no joke. $45.
It's good.
45 on the dot. On mackerels, you don't want to get even with them. You want to come on top.
Okay.
You want to go on top. If you get even with them, you'll never get a shot.
Really?
Really.
Alright, we have another drop, another nice cave system. Mitch shoots a fish and comes to the surface without even kicking.
You got him?
One of the things I love about Mitch is he's a goofball, and he's always having a great time. So this trip was not any different. We make a second drop just to start extracting this fish. You can see that Mitch is being very careful not to just yank and pull the slip tip out. Eventually, the fish comes with. But Mitch is on his way up with a really nice yellowfin grouper.
It's a nice yellow wig, Mitchell.
Here's a situation where there's a lionfish. Normally I leave them because they're a pain to deal with, but this one's big enough. We'll be able to get a couple nice fillets and use it for a couple different recipes. My favorite is going to be ceviche or sashimi. Here's a really cool fish, yellowfin, tucked away. I take a long shot and I stone it. You can see it's just sitting there shaking, but unfortunately the tip didn't go all the way through, so I try to pin it to the floor. The slip tip pops out and I just hug the fish and bring it to the surface. I look at the fish and admire it. These yellowfin grouper are so beautiful, the way they have those dots along their whole body and those beautiful yellow fins.
Did you see that? Stone them. Boom.
One of the things I talk about with team hunting is the fact that it's more fun when you're with your friends, and it makes celebrating this fish so much more fun when I'm able to talk about it with somebody who watched the hunt themselves.
Again, crazy awesome day. I ended up with like a 45-ish pound black grouper. Seas are amazing. I mean, look at this. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but epic. 2 yellowfin grouper in the boat, big black grouper in the boat, hogfish, some miscellaneous other stuff, but for a day where we were just gonna go look around and see what we could find, we found it. I'm pretty stoked on it. That's why I decided to get out of the water, let Dylan get in. Yeah. What you got, Dylan? Good talk. Love when I talk to them, but they don't talk back to me. Okay, and now we are looking for spots the old-fashioned way. Stuff like that. Got the boys dragging. Let's see what they can come up with. It's been bouncing up and down between 80 and 60, so I like that. I like that a lot. This will be one of my deeper spots, if we find one. If we find one. I've never tried blackjack before. People have asked me about it, so Dylan just said he saw one and shot it. It looks like it would be good. It looks like it would be a similar meat to a yellowjack, huh?
That's what I would think. We're gonna find out tonight.
Let's see. Let's eat it tonight and we'll find out. Look at what we have here. The Bahamian moo. Very nice shot. Nice size moo. So a big old bulky roller Polespear could still lace up a jolthead porgy, huh?
Dude, I'll be honest, I can sight them from a while.
Yeah, long ways.
Moving, I was just like, well, now or never. I like it.
Boom. Big Polespears, better than little Polespears. Oh, look at that. Another AP close to land. Boop.
Is this legal?
Yeah.